October 26th, 6 p.m. Light 26 candles and give thanks. Padre Pio reveals how to receive more. The revelation that changed everything. Back in November of 1966, a family from a small town was about to give up. Ashley and Michael Bennett had received an extraordinary blessing just 3 months earlier. Their 12-year-old son, Liam, had been healed from a serious illness after a pilgrimage to a sacred site and the blessing of Padre Pio. But since then, nothing, no further blessings. On the contrary, the problems had returned, debts piled up. The relationship between the couple deteriorated. It was as if the initial grace had been temporary. In despair, Ashley wrote a letter to Padre Pio. The response arrived on November 20th, 1966. Inside the envelope, just 2 lines. You received, but you did not give thanks. At 6 p.m. on the 26th, light 26 candles. And this time, don't forget to be grateful. Ashley didn't understand. They had given thanks. Dozens of times, they offered gratitude prayers. They made donations to the church. How could they have not given thanks? But she decided to obey. On November 26th, 1966, at precisely 6 p.m., Ashley and Michael lit 26 candles in their living room. And then, for the first time since their son's healing, they stopped and they gave thanks. Really gave thanks. What happened in the following 30 days was documented in a diary that Ashley kept and that is now preserved in the archives of the Padre Pio Shrine. She wrote, Day 27. Michael received an unexpected job offer, better salary, better conditions. Day 30. Our daughter, who had been estranged from us for months, called, asking for forgiveness. December 3rd. An old debtor, whom we hadn't seen in years, appeared and paid what he owed. Exactly the amount we needed to pay off an urgent debt. Day 12. Liam, our healed son, won a full scholarship. Day 18. Michael and I had a conversation we hadn't had in years. He held my hand, and I felt like my marriage was coming back. On December 26th, exactly 1 month later, Ashley wrote, We lit the 26 candles again, but this time, we didn't ask for anything. We only gave thanks. And now I understand what Padre Pio meant. We received the healing, but we didn't open the door for more. Gratitude is not politeness. It's the key. Ashley continued lighting 26 candles at 6 p.m. on every 26th until her death in 2004. Her diary records 38 years of uninterrupted blessings, and the question that no one has answered for decades is, what is so special about the number 26? Why 6 p.m.? And what did Padre Pio know about gratitude that we have forgotten? Leave a comment now writing, I will give thanks if you will light the 26 candles today at 6 p.m. And if you wish to support the recovery of these lost teachings of Padre Pio, consider sending a super thanks. The Forgotten Theology of Gratitude. Between 2002 and 2005, Father Luis Santos conducted research in the archives of San Giovanni Rotondo, looking for all the letters from Padre Pio that mentioned gratitude or thanksgiving. He found 89 letters. But what shocked him the most wasn't the quantity, it was the consistency of the message. In a letter from 1962, Padre Pio wrote, People come to me asking for miracles. I pray, God grants them. But then, silence. They disappear. And when they return, months later, they are empty again. They don't understand. God doesn't turn off the tap of graces. We are the ones who close the door by not giving thanks. In another letter from 1964, gratitude is not a feeling, it is a spiritual act. To give thanks is to recognize that you received something you didn't deserve. And when you recognize that, you place yourself in a position to receive even more. And the most impactful letter, written in June of 1967. If you asked for 10 graces and received 10, give thanks for all 10. God will give you 100. But if you received 10 and did not give thanks, prepare yourself. You will lose even the 10 you received. It is not punishment, it is spiritual law. Spiritual law? Father Santos investigated further. He discovered that Padre Pio wasn't inventing theology. He was rescuing something that the Church Fathers taught, but that had been lost. St. John Chrysostom in the 4th century wrote, "Ingratitude is the greatest of sins because it denies the origin of the blessing. And whoever denies the origin loses access to the source." St. Augustine in the 5th century, "Whoever gives thanks multiplies. Whoever does not give thanks subtracts." St. Bernard of Clairvaux in the 12th century. The door to new graces does not open with new requests. It opens with old thanksgivings. Padre Pio was teaching something that Christianity has always known, but that the modern "I deserve it" culture has buried. Gratitude is not good manners. It is spiritual power. Why 26 candles? The hidden meaning of the number. But why exactly 26 candles? Why not 10, 12, or 50? The answer lies in a recorded conversation between Padre Pio and Brother Alex in August of 1967. Brother Alex asked, "Padre, why do you always talk about 26? The 26th, 26 candles. What is the meaning?" Padre Pio replied, "The number 26 is the number of the name of God. YHWH, the sacred tetragrammaton, adds up to 26 in Hebrew gematria. Yod, Ch10, he says 5, Vav, Sh 6, he says 5, total 26. He continued, "When you light 26 candles, you are not just lighting wax. You are invoking the name. Each candle is a letter of the divine name repeated. It is as if you were saying, 'In your name, Lord, I give thanks.'" But Brother Alex insisted, "And why at 6 p.m.? Padre Pio smiled and said, "Because 6 p.m. is the time of the evening sacrifice in the temple in Jerusalem. It is the hour when the Jews offered the evening burnt offering. And what is gratitude if not a sacrifice? You offer your pride. You admit that you needed it. You acknowledge that it was God, not you." Brother Alex recorded this conversation in his personal notebook. The notebook was found after his death in 2003 and donated to the archives of the shrine. And there is an additional disturbing detail. 18, 1 plus 8, 9, and 9 is the number of divine multiplication in the Bible. Jesus died at 3 p.m. and rose on the third day. 3x3, 9. Padre Pio was using biblical numbers to create a ritual of spiritual multiplication. 26, the name of God, x 6 p.m., hour of the evening sacrifice. A gratitude portal that opens the multiplication of graces. It's not numerology. It's symbolic theology. The complete protocol of the 26 candles at 6 p.m. Based on the letters of Padre Pio and the testimonies of families who practiced this ritual between 1962 and 1968, here is the complete protocol. Step 1. Prepare the 26 candles. The candles must be white. Padre Pio was categorical about this. White symbolizes the purity of gratitude, untouched by requests. You can use small, medium, or large candles. The important thing is the number, 26. No more, no less. Arrange the candles in a safe place in your home. It could be the living room table, the kitchen table, or a home altar if you have one. Step 2. Light them at exactly 6 p.m. The time matters. Padre Pio taught that the spiritual window of gratitude opens precisely at 6 p.m. on the 26th. and remains open for 30 minutes. If you're a few minutes late, it still works. But if it's past 6:30 p.m., Padre Pio would say, "You've missed the moment. Wait for the next month." Why? Because just as there's a liturgical time for each prayer, Lauds at dawn, Vespers at dusk, there's a spiritual time for multiplied gratitude, 6 p.m. on the 26th. Step 3. Light one candle at a time, not all at once. This is a crucial detail that many people overlook. Don't light all 26 candles at once with a lighter. Light the first one. Then use the first to light the second. Use the second to light the third, and so on. Why? Padre Pio explained in a letter from 1965, each candle is a specific thanks. If you light them all at once, you're giving a generic thanks. But God doesn't give generic graces. He gives specific graces. Therefore, give thanks specifically. Step 4. Give thanks for 26 specific things. As you light each of the 26 candles, mention a specific blessing you've received. It can be something big. Thank you for my son's healing. It can be something small. Thank you for waking up today. It can be something material. Thank you for my job. It can be something spiritual. Thank you that I can still pray. The important thing is that they are 26 different expressions of gratitude. And if you can't remember 26 things, Padre Pio would respond, then you are spiritually blind. Look around you. You are alive. You breathe. You have a roof over your head. You have clothes. You have food. That's already 5. Keep going. And by step 5, make no requests during those 30 minutes. This step is the most difficult. During the 30 minutes that the candles are lit from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., you cannot make a single new request. Only gratitude, only thanksgiving. Padre Pio said, this is not the time to ask. It's the time to close the previous cycle. You asked, God gave. Now you close the cycle by giving thanks. Only after that can a new cycle begin. If you make a request during these 30 minutes, Padre Pio warned, you have contaminated the gratitude, and contaminated gratitude does not multiply, it stagnates. Step 6. Let the candles burn completely. Do not extinguish the candles before they are finished. Let them burn all the way down. If you need to leave the house, that's okay. Place the candles in a safe place, a sink with water, a deep dish with water, away from curtains, and let them burn. Padre Pio explained, the candle that burns to the end is a symbol of complete gratitude. If you extinguish it halfway, it's as if you are interrupting the thanksgiving. Step 7. Repeat every 26th of each month. This ritual isn't a one-time event, it's monthly. Padre Pio taught that gratitude needs to be renewed continuously because God's graces are continuous. Families who practiced this ritual monthly for years reported a life of increasing blessings. Families who only did it once reported a one-time blessing, but nothing sustained. Documented cases. When gratitude multiplied throughout the 1960s, dozens of families practiced the 26-candle ritual as taught by Padre Pio. 3 cases were documented with extraordinary detail. Case 1, the Miller family, Naples, 1963-1967. John Miller was a factory worker and earned just enough to survive. In May of 1963, he got a small raise. It was the first financial improvement in 5 years. In June of 1963, he visited Padre Pio and mentioned the raise. Padre Pio responded, "Did you give thanks?" John said, "Yes, Father. I thanked God." Padre Pio asked, "How did you give thanks? With words or with fire?" John didn't understand. Padre Pio explained the 26-candle ritual and said, "Do this on the 26th of this month, and every month for the next few years, you will see." John obeyed. On June 26, 1963, at 6 p.m., he lit 26 candles in his home and gave thanks for 26 things, including the salary increase. In July, John received a proposal to work on Saturdays with extra pay. He accepted. On July 26th, he lit the 26 candles again. In August, John's boss promoted him to supervisor, salary doubled. August 26th, 26 candles. In September, John inherited a small amount from a distant uncle he didn't even know existed. 26th, 26 candles. This cycle continued for 4 years. Each month, a new blessing. Each 26th, 26 candles of gratitude. In 1967, John wrote a letter to Padre Pio. "Father, I don't understand. I was poor. Today I own my own home, 2 cars. My children study in good schools. But I didn't do anything differently at work. I just kept giving thanks every 26th. How is this possible?" Padre Pio replied, "You opened the faucet. God didn't close it. Simple as that." Case 2. The Rodriguez family. Lisbon, 1964-1968. Emily Rodriguez was infertile. Or at least, the doctors said so. She and her husband had been trying to have children for 8 years without success. In March of 1964, a friend suggested she visit Padre Pio in Italy. Emily was skeptical, but desperate. During confession, she asked Padre Pio to pray for a child. Padre Pio said, "I will pray, but you need to do something too." He handed her a paper with instructions. Light 26 candles at 6 p.m. on the 26th of each month. Give thanks for 26 blessings. Do not ask for anything during the 30 minutes, Emily asked. "But Father, I haven't received the child yet. Why would I give thanks?" Padre Pio replied, "You already have 26 blessings in your life. Give thanks for them first. Then God will decide if you are ready for the 27th. Emily returned to Lisbon confused but obedient. April 26, 1964. 6 p.m. She lit the 26 candles, gave thanks for her health, her husband, her home, her job, the air she breathed, the food she ate. Her family. She completed the 26 thanks. She repeated it in May, in June, in July, in August of 1964. Emily discovered she was pregnant. She continued lighting the 26 candles every month during the pregnancy. In April of 1965, her daughter was born. Healthy and perfect, Emily kept the ritual. In 1966, she became pregnant again. In 1967, once more. In 1968, her 3rd child was born. Doctors couldn't explain it. Emily explained, "I learned to give thanks before receiving." And when you do that, God doesn't stop giving. Case 3. The Dominican Sisters Convent, Florence, 1965, present. In 1965, the Dominican Sisters Convent in Florence was on the brink of financial ruin. There were no funds to maintain the building. No new vocations were coming in. The older sisters were passing away, and there was no one to replace them. The Mother Superior, Sister Cecilia, traveled to the pilgrimage site in May 1965, seeking guidance from Padre Pio. Padre Pio listened intently and then said, "You have asked for much and thanked for little. You pray for vocations, but you don't thank God for the sisters you already have. You ask for money, but you don't give thanks for your daily bread." He then taught them the ritual of the 26 candles and instructed, "Gather the community together. Every 26th of the month at 6 p.m., light 26 candles in the chapel. Each sister must share one blessing. And then simply give thanks. Just express your gratitude. Do this for 1 year, then write to me." Sister Cecilia immediately implemented his instructions. On June 26, 1965, at 6 p.m., the entire community, all 12 sisters, gathered in the chapel. They lit the 26 candles, and each sister shared at least 2 things they were thankful for. They repeated this in July, August, and September. Then, in October of 1965, a young woman knocked on the convent door, asking to join the community, the first new vocation in 3 years. In November, an anonymous donation covered half of the convent's debts. And in December, 2 more young women asked to join them. The cycle continued. Each month, the 26 candles, each month, a new blessing. In May of 1966, exactly 1 year later, Sister Cecilia wrote to Padre Pio, "Father, we have 6 new vocations. Our debts have been paid off. The convent is full of life again, and all we did was give thanks." Padre Pio responded with a single sentence, "Now you understand." The convent continues to practice the ritual of the 26 candles to this day, 60 years later, and it continues to thrive. The spiritual law of multiplication through gratitude. Padre Pio did not invent gratitude, but he rediscovered a spiritual law that the modern world has largely forgotten. This law can be summarized in 3 principles. Principle 1, gratitude opens, ungratefulness closes. Imagine that God is an infinite source of water, and you are a pipe. If you are thankful, the pipe opens. If you are ungrateful, the pipe clogs. It's not God who is closing it. It's you. Padre Pio used to say, "God never takes back what he has given, but if you don't acknowledge that it was he who gave it, you lose the ability to receive more." Principle 2, specific gratitude generates specific blessings. Generic thanks generate generic results. Specific thanks generate specific results. If you simply say, "Thank you for everything," God hears vagueness. But if you say, "Thank you because my child was healed, because I received this job, because my marriage was restored," God hears clarity, and clarity multiplies. Principle 3, whoever gives thanks first receives later. This is the most counterintuitive law. The world teaches, ask, receive, then give thanks. In that order. Padre Pio taught, give thanks for what you already have, and then you will receive what you don't yet have. Why is this? Because when you give thanks for what you already have, you demonstrate to God that you know how to manage blessings. And God does not give greater blessings to those who waste the smaller ones. Jesus taught this in the parable of the talents. To everyone who has, more will be given. But as for the one who has nothing, even what they have will be taken away. Padre Pio explained, whoever is not grateful for the little things is not ready for the big things. Yanti Dasitzen, they turned the 5 most common mistakes in the ritual of the 26 candles. Over the years, hundreds of people have tried to practice the ritual of the 26 candles, but many have made mistakes that neutralized its effectiveness. Here are the 5 most common errors documented in letters to Padre Pio. Error 1, mixing gratitude with requests. This is the most frequent mistake. The person lights the candles, starts to give thanks, but in the middle of the ritual, they're already making new requests. In a letter from 1965, a woman from New York wrote to Padre Pio, "Father, I lit the 26 candles as you instructed. I gave thanks for everything. But I also took the opportunity to ask for my husband, who is unemployed. Why didn't it work?" Padre Pio responded, "Because you did not separate the moments. Gratitude contaminated with requests is not pure gratitude. It is negotiation, and God does not negotiate." He explained, "There are moments to ask, and there are moments to give thanks. The 26th of the month at 6 p.m. is the moment to give thanks. If you want to ask, Do it at another time, another day, but during the 26 candles, only gratitude. Error 2. Giving thanks for future things instead of things already received. Another common mistake. The person lights the candles and says, "Thank you for the healing I will receive. Thank you for the job that is still to come. Thank you for the miracle that is on its way." Padre Pio corrected this in a letter from 1966. You cannot give thanks for something you have not yet received. That is not gratitude, it is presumption. Give thanks for what you already have, for what you have already received. If you have not yet received that specific blessing, then give thanks for the other 26 that you already have in your life. Error 3. Lighting all the candles at once. Many people light all 26 candles simultaneously with a lighter all at the same time, as if they were lighting a birthday cake. Padre Pio was categorical. One at a time, because each candle is a specific blessing. If you light them all together, you are saying that all blessings are equal, but they are not. Each one has its value, its moment, its story. Lighting them one at a time forces you to slow down, to be present, to remember, and that is part of the ritual. Error 4. Not completing the 26. Thanks. Some people light the 26 candles, but they can only give thanks for 5, 10, 15 things, and then they stop. Padre Pio responded, "If you cannot remember 26 things to be grateful for, the problem is not your memory. It is spiritual blindness. You are so focused on what you do not yet have that you have forgotten to see what you already have." He gave practical tips. Start with your body. Thank you for your sight, for your hearing, for your hands, for your feet, for your breath. That's already 5. Continue with your home. Thank you for the roof, for the walls, for the bed, for the food, for the water. That's already 10. Continue with your family. Thank you for your spouse, for your children, for your parents, for your siblings, for your friends. That's already 15. Continue with your spiritual life. Thank you for the sacraments, for the Bible, for the church, for the saints, for Mary. That's already 20. Continue with your opportunities. Thank you for your work, for your education, for peace, for freedom, for time. That's already 25. And the 26th, thank you, because I can give thanks. Error 5. Doing it only once and forgetting. This is the mistake that kills the multiplication. Many people do the ritual of the 26 candles once, see some results, and then forget to continue in the following months. Padre Pio warned in a letter from 1967, "Gratitude is not an event, it is a lifestyle." If you expressed gratitude once and then stopped, you turned on the faucet and then turned it off. God was ready to continue giving, but you interrupted the flow. He compared it to the widow of Zarephath in the Old Testament. The oil and flour multiplied day after day as long as she obeyed the prophet. The day she stopped obeying, the multiplication would cease. The same applies to you. As long as you maintain the monthly discipline of gratitude, the multiplication continues. The month you forget, the faucet closes. May you wish to sit. Frequently asked questions about the 26 candles ritual. Over the years, many questions have arisen about this ritual. Here are some answers based on Padre Pio's letters. Question 1. Can it be done in a group, or must it be individual? Padre Pio responded, "It can be done in a group, provided that each person mentions at least a few graces aloud. It cannot be one person speaking and the others just watching. Everyone must participate actively." The case of the Dominican Sisters Convent is a perfect example. They did it as a community, but each sister mentioned her own graces. Question 2. What if I cannot light candles at home, small apartment, condo restrictions, etc.? Padre Pio allowed adaptations in legitimate cases. If you cannot light 26 physical candles, go to a church. Light 26 votive candles there. The important thing is the physical act of lighting, not the exact location. But he emphasized, do not replace real candles with imaginary candles. Fire is part of the ritual. Fire is the symbol of the Holy Spirit consuming your gratitude and transforming it into intercession. Question 3. Does it always have to be at 6 p.m. or can it be at another time? Padre Pio was flexible, within limits. Ideally, 6 p.m. But if you work night shifts or have some serious impediment, you can do it between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. But not after 7 p.m., because after that time, the spiritual window closes. Question 4. Can it be done on days other than the 26th? A woman asked this in 1965 because she always forgot the 26th. Padre Pio responded, it can be done on any day, but the 26th has maximum potency because it is the day of the name of God, 26, 8-2-WH in Hebrew gematria. If you do it on another day, it still works, but with less intensity. He compared it to the difference between praying on any given day and praying on a holy day. Both work, but the holy day has a special grace. Question 5. What to do if a candle goes out on its own in the middle of the ritual? Padre Pio would answer, relight it, this happens. Wind, draft, imperfection of the candle. It is not a bad sign, relight it and continue. But he made a distinction, if all the candles go out at once for no natural reason, that is a sign. It could be a spiritual attack. In that case, make the sign of the cross, sprinkle holy water in the environment, and restart. Additional cases of multiplication of graces. In addition to the 3 main documented cases, there are other extraordinary accounts of families who practiced the 26 candles ritual faithfully. Case 4. Widow from Palermo, 1966-1980. After her husband's death in 1965. Carmela was left alone with 4 young children and no source of income. She sold embroidery to survive, but could barely pay the rent. In February 1966, a neighbor gave her a letter from Padre Pio explaining the 26 candles ritual. Carmela thought, but I don't have 26 graces. I only have problems. Even so, she decided to try. On February 26, 1966, at 6 p.m., she lit 26 candles, bought with the money she was supposed to use for bread, and forced herself to give thanks. Thank you because my children are alive. Thank you because I still have hands to embroider. Thank you because we have a roof over our heads. Thank you because I woke up today. She struggled to complete all 26, but she managed. The next day, a priest from the parish knocked on her door. A wealthy family had ordered 50 embroideries for a wedding and wanted Carmela to do the work. The advance payment was the equivalent of 3 months' rent. Carmela lit the 26 candles again on March 26th. More orders came. She maintained the ritual for 14 years, until 1980. In that time, she not only survived, she thrived. She bought her own house, paid for university studies for her 4 children, and even opened a small embroidery shop that employed other widows. In 1980, she wrote to the Padre Pio shrine, "I don't know if it was coincidence, but for 14 years, every month that I lit the 26 candles, something good happened. In the only month that I forgot, December 1972, I had the worst financial month of all. I returned to the ritual in January 1973, and everything went back to normal. Coincidence? I no longer believe in coincidences." Case 5. doctor from Milan. 1967 present, Dr. Francesco was an oncologist and an atheist. Or he was, until 1967. That year, his 8-year-old daughter was diagnosed with leukemia. Prognosis, few months to live. His wife, a devout Catholic, begged him to accompany her on a pilgrimage to a pilgrimage site. He went, not out of faith, but out of desperation. Padre Pio attended to him briefly and told him only, "Light 26 candles at 6 p.m. on the 26th, every month, and give thanks for what you still have while you have it." Dr. Francesco thought that was ridiculous, but his wife insisted. On May 26, 1967, at 6 p.m., he lit the 26 candles at home, skeptical and embarrassed, but he obeyed. He thanked. "Thank you because my daughter is still alive today. Thank you because she still smiles. Thank you because I can still hug her." The tears came. He completed the 26 thanks crying. He repeated it in June, in July, in August, in September 1967. New exams, complete remission. The doctors did not understand. Dr. Francesco didn't either, but he continued to light the 26 candles. Today, in 2025, his daughter is 66 years old, is alive and healthy, and Dr. Francesco, now retired, still lights 26 candles at 6 p.m. on every 26th. He wrote in a letter to the shrine in 2010, "I was a scientist. I only believed in what I could prove, but the only explanation I have for my daughter's life is gratitude. I learned to be grateful before it was too late." And God answered. Today I not only light the 26 candles for myself, I light them for my patients too, and many of them have also been cured. Coincidence? Not anymore. Battagli, Padre Pio's last instruction on gratitude. In September 1968, a few days before he died, Padre Pio called Brother Alex and told him, "When I die, many will remember the miracles that God worked through me, but few will remember what I always taught. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks." Brother Alex asked, "Padre, why do you insist so much on this?" Padre Pio responded, "Because I've spent 50 years watching people receive blessings and then lose everything through ingratitude. They receive healing, but don't take care of their health. They receive money, but don't manage it well. They receive reconciliation, but return to the same mistakes. Why? Because they don't understand that grace needs to be honored with continuous gratitude." He continued, "If you receive 10 blessings and give thanks for 10, God will give you 100. But if you receive 10 and don't give thanks, prepare yourself. You will lose the 10 and still be in debt." These were some of the last spiritual instructions from Padre Pio. 3 days later, he passed away, but the teaching remained. And now it reaches you. If you're watching this video on the 26th or on the eve of the 26th, know this: it's no coincidence. Today, at 6 p.m., light 26 candles and give thanks, specifically. For 26 things, don't ask for anything new. Just close the previous cycle and then observe what God does in the next 30 days. Leave a comment now, writing 26 candles at 6 p.m. to let me know you'll do this ritual today. And if this revelation has touched your heart, consider sending a super thanks. Each contribution allows us to continue rescuing lost teachings of Padre Pio and bringing light to thousands of families. May the Lord multiply your blessings. May the Virgin Mary intercede for you, and may Padre Pio teach you to give thanks. Amen.